What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the heater hose in a 2002 Saab 9.3. So as you can see, right down there, there's a split in the heater hose which caused coolant to spray everywhere. So I got a replacement part off Amazon. We're going to be disconnecting the hose right there, as well as right there, and they run back to the firewall right down there. So we're going to be undoing the connections up here to the engine as well as down to the firewall. You're going to need an assortment of hand tools to do this job. I highly recommend this tool here. It's a remote controlled hose clamp remover, so you can attach it in a hard to reach place and just squeeze it and it'll remove that one. But I noticed for some of the lower hose clamps, they were a bit too small. This wouldn't compress well enough in order to get those. So just a pair of long needle nose pliers will help. Then you'll want a screwdriver to kind of shimmy off the old hose clamps. And it's also, you might come in handy to use a knife if you have to cut some of the old hoses off if they don't want to come off after years of sitting on there. And then also you're going to need a jack if you do plan on jacking up the vehicle to get to the lower hoses. Otherwise, if you're going to reach to the top, you won't need that. Now you're going to want to have something like this. I picked this up for $30 from AutoZone or O'Reilly. And what this is used for is you can take this bit and set it onto the hose clamp, and then you just stand back here and you squeeze it and it'll basically pull it open for you. If you don't have one of these, you can use just a long pair of needle nose pliers. I just found this to be a bit easier. But are you going to want to pull off that top hose just like that, and then we're going to move over and pull that one off as well, and then we'll start working on the back ones down there. Now I found it easier to get down to that hose. I removed the direct ignition cassette. So what you do is you just undo this red clip and unplug it from the side, and then just undo the 4 bolts. Mine had 10mm bolts. Yours might have Torx screws in there as well. But once you remove that, you'll be able to reach down and gain access to that hose a bit easier. One thing to note when removing the direct ignition cassette, you'll want to store it upright if you plan on driving this immediately after you get this job done, because they have oil stored in the coil packs, and if you were to flip this upside down or sideways, it takes a while for the oil to settle back down to its current state. So if you store it upright, then you won't have to worry about waiting for about 30 minutes to an hour for it to settle back down again. Alright, change of plan. So that other hose is not leaking, and I really don't feel like breaking anything that's around that hose. Trying to get that one off when it works is fine. So I'm just going to be replacing the bad hose, so the I guess the upper heater hose. So now we're going to go ahead and jack up the car so we can get down to that other connection down there. Hey guys, so I forgot to record one part here, so I was able to get that lower connector off by using a long pair of needle nose pliers and just crawling underneath the car about halfway back. I was able to reach up and just squeeze and pull it back, and then you can just wiggle the lower connector off. I currently have the new hose right down there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm just getting about almost all the way on. Don't forget to put the clamp back onto the hose before you start to put them on. I'm switching over to a regular hose clamp like this, just so it's a little bit easier next time if I have to do this. But you're just going to want to slide this top hose onto that connector. I'm using a bit of soapy water just to make it a bit easier. I'll get back to you guys when I'm putting the lower one on. Hey guys, so I got that hose down there with a new hose clamp fitted on there, alright. Then you just want to go through and make sure that you've connected everything. Make sure that the hose clamps are all tight. Direct ignition is installed again. If you remove that, make sure you plug it in. And just go over the engine and make sure you didn't miss anything. And that should be about it. You guys have then successfully replaced the heater hose in your Saab 9.3.